Hello, everyone. It's Michelle, Letters from Nantucket. Thank you for joining me today on a little mail making process journey. Full disclosure from the start, there were some technical errors surrounding this mail. um, Towards the end, my camera died, so probably the last 15 minutes of just sort of putting the final finishing touches were missed, and then I took some still shots that I had thought I uploaded last night to my computer, and sadly they did not make it. And after I uploaded everything, I'm currently getting ready to make a trip, so I wanted to get all of the big digital files off of my computer, and I deleted them, and the mail has since been sent out into the big bad world. What I did have, though, to share with you were some boomerangs that I was sort of playing around with. So at the end of the video, you'll be able to see the finished project with those. So I do apologize, but I really loved the way this mail turned out, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And I'm trying to be weekly and timely in what I put out for you all, so we can sort of stay connected in this process together. So for the technical difficulties, I do apologize. I don't know if it's because Mercury was in retrograde. Even, I'm a little bit wobbly looking at what I'm doing. So it just, there were a lot of issues, but that's okay because, no matter how bad the filming process might have been, it doesn't change the creative process that I'm sharing with you all. So bear with me. And again, I loved this mail so much, I didn't want to sacrifice sharing the process with you all because the quality of the filming is not exactly where I would want it to be. So I took a deep breath and I reminded myself, I'm not a cinematographer. And I'm a human being with flaws, and sometimes what we put out into the world can't be perfect, which kills the Virgo in me. But for this mail book, so what I knew I wanted to do is sort of put together a Valentine's theme, something pink and fun and girly flip book. And because it was being sent internationally, I was trying to use paper that wasn't too thick, that would weigh it down, because I wanted to stuff a lot of goodies in here. And what I'm actually creating, if you follow me on Instagram, you'd see them a lot. I like to do these, folded flip books. It's essentially a card with two pockets on either side. And then I will use a small card and an envelope in the middle. I'll washi tape it in and use that envelope as sort of another place to stuff goodies, but then also a place where I can attach a card. To do this, a lot of times I'll use the Target dollar spot cards. I sort of use those as a base and move forward. I usually enjoy the colors and the themes, and if it's a thank you on it or something like that, I can very easily clean it up. They're also a nice size, sort of fit into the tiny mail. So that's sort of how all of this will come together. And again, to sort of keep things lighter, I don't always want to necessarily glue two pieces of 12 by 12 paper together, glue, two pieces of any paper together, because again, it's going to add weight and thickness to the mail. So what I started doing earlier in the year, and I was mesmerized by watching it just because I like seeing the patterns come through. But I started just using my roller stamps to decorate the white back side of sheets. And there's my little caddy, which I really love. And I love the effect of it. It's fun because you can use words, or, roller stamps come in so many different varieties, whether it's words or fun little graphics or anything like that. That's a fun way to make it personal, and I have so many that are themed around love and hearts and Valentine's Day and pink ink, so the way it turned out is kind of, it's just a happy little opening that's unique and sort of one of a kind, and I think my pen pal will really enjoy it. And so now you can see I'm starting to play with those cards and that little envelope that's going to go in the middle. This one, rather than doing washi, which is sort of how it started, I decided to use the flap to glue in so that there would sort of be that little craft paper background that could play off of the pocket that I will be constructing shortly. I wanted to stuff the pocket with all sorts of fun little cards and happy little notes and things like that. So I'm just sorting through the significant stash of journaling cards that I have acquired. And my pen pals, get ready. You all have no idea how much stuff I'm going to be jamming into your mail this year, because it really is time to share the love. I'm a little overwhelmed with supplies. So it's all good though. It just means there's more creative possibilities to share with you all. And I also am thinking about, I want to sort of give love to all of you on YouTube as well, who I don't, correspond with on a regular basis, but we have this really fun, neat thing going on where we inspire each other. So stay tuned for that. When I get back from my trips, I'm going to put some cool little packages together. And it all sort of falls in line because the other thing that's happening in January is that on the 25th, it'll sort of be like my 2-year birthday for Letters from Nantucket, and sort of opening the door to myself and you all, and sharing my more crafty, creative projects, not necessarily the fine art side of things. And I want to celebrate that, because what this has done for me, sort of sharing this not so fine art side of my process and things that make me happy, it has actually made me a better artist, a better human being. It has brought so much happiness and joy into my life. It's brought a lot of inspiration and passion and kindness into my life. And I think I say this in every video, but I have so much appreciation for Letters from Nantucket and what it has allowed me to do, and the connections it has allowed me to foster and create. And I just think that is something to celebrate. And in today's world, we all need things to celebrate that are happy and involve stickers, puffy hearts, and pretty paper washi tape. So I'm looking forward to sharing the love with you. And that love sticker, by the way, how awesome is that? It's this three layers of felt all put together. I was in America, as some of you may know from my last video, at the beginning of the month, and so these are some of the things that I picked up off island. And the amazing thing is, like, you get a sticker or a bag of stickers like that off island for like $2.99. You guys, I have paid $8 on Nantucket for a roll of washi tape, and I have been in a real jam. So I have so much fun going off island and sort of being in a different zone, a different economy, one that's sort of more for working people like me who enjoy doing crafty things. And I'm hoping that on this next trip that I'll be leaving for soon, that I'll also be able to find some new fun things to play with. I wanted to challenge myself in 2017 to be better about just picking up the scraps of ephemera, for my everyday life, and ticket stubs and brochures and receipts and all that kind of stuff. And I do enjoy bringing that into my journals, clearly, because it's sort of like about documenting and, keeping my own memories close to my heart, and part of my creative process. But with the mail, I don't, I sort of have this love for all of these like beautiful supplies, and I like evolving with them, and I like sort of seeing how graphic styles change so quickly now, and how it all interrelates with a lot of what you see on social media and a lot of what we share. So totally cutting off that part of my like crafty consumerism, it kind of turns me off a little bit, just because I think part of the fun for me is the sourcing and the bringing all of these different materials together and putting them into one little project. That right there, as you'll see, these are all these, this is kind of how it all comes together. I spent about a half hour before I knew I wanted to sit down and make this piece of mail, going through things and just pulling out Valentine's, lovey, pinks, greens, aquas, so that I would just have sort of one base that I could go to and pull things out of, knowing that I would probably be in this themed kick for a while. I don't always like to create in a theme, especially, sometimes holidays can be a little bit hokey, Valentine's Day included. I mean, let's be real. I kind of, I'm definitely one of those hippies that feels like we should celebrate love every day. But when you put pink and glitter and red and, exos and hearts together and chipboard and stickers and everything, it's hard not to play. I mean, it just makes my heart happy. So this is a theme that I can get around Easter, which, is an important holiday, especially in my family. It's not a theme that I'll probably bring into my mail, 4th of July, things like that. But Valentine's Day and the holidays, I can get into those. I can definitely get into those. I'd be curious, in the comments below, do you all find that you craft and create with the seasons, or do you go a little bit more rogue in terms of your themes? I will say that's one of the reasons why I've enjoyed the Planners Society monthly kit so much, is because it's not really based on holidays and months. It's just these like really fantastic florals and fun frilly imagery that sort of all comes together. And I don't know if some of you out there participate in the Planner Society as well. Do you find that that's sort of annoying when you get into your planner? Are you looking for those theme things? It'd be an interesting conversation to have. But back on the ranch, back on this, sort of moving away from the theory. The book's really coming together now. And again, like technical issues beyond anything you've seen with me before with this one. It's really low, but it will push back up eventually and you can see it. But in that front flip, there's a pocket that I can put the cards in, and then in the back, again, I wanted to sort of keep it as thin as possible because of the goodie bag that I stuffed into the envelope. I just did a flat sort of folder pocket, attached it with my glue dot runner. And after putting the embellishments on, it still seems it's flat in a couple of different ways, not just in construction, but it felt a little flat in the way that it looked. So I just went in with a white gel pen and traced around some of those polka dots on the paper to give it a little bit of dimension, make it a little bit more fun and whimsical. It sort of reminded me of like snowflakes falling, and it just brought a little bit more interest, which is sort of what the goal is here for me. I had that great tag that said "For You" from a pen pal. I decided to cut it up and find a cool little spot to do it. I think it's so cute with the glitter and the flowers and the little stamping. I wanted to find just the right place for it, and I have been holding on to that little elephant and heart sticker set for a while. Someone sent it to me, so I was happy to feel strong enough and secure enough to part with it and put it somewhere great for someone else to enjoy. And this is really starting to wrap up. When I get to the part where I start like embellishing pockets and folders and using stickers and stuff, this is where I have a lot of fun, and I sort of go back and forth and just play and create and see how far I can push it without it becoming like overly designed and overly gaudy, which does happen sometimes. So the fun thing about the creative process, you can go too far. Sometimes you can go not enough. It's all, and then some days you feel like it's great and I will walk away and I will come back to it the next morning and I look at, what I did, and I just have this thought of like, what was I thinking? Did you ever do that when you go through your old journal pages? You're like, man, this is not what I had wanted. But that's okay. I mean, that's kind of life, right? We don't always get what we want, and not all of the seeds that we plant, grow trees that bear fruit. And that's okay, because you still planted a seed and you're still contributing to your existence in a meaningful, expressive way. So I am all for it, even and at that, I will say, when you do more fine art, like that happens all the time. I have a paper box of drawings and watercolors that are just terrible. But, they serve their purpose because they helped me sharpen my skills, and it was, an experiment. Anytime you draw or anything like that, you're you're using your eye and your skills to put together a great composition, to create depth, to create perspective, to create some form of emotion in what you're doing that will spark interest in whoever it is that you're going to share with. And sometimes the person that ends up, having that connection with your art is yourself. And I think that is okay. It's, just because we fell off bikes when we were kids doesn't mean we're going to stop riding the bike. And just because things that we create don't always turn out the way that we want them to, it shouldn't stop us from moving forward. I hope you all are familiar with the OutKast song with the lyric, the Valentine's Day song with the lyric, "Every day is the 14th." That every Valentine's Day I end up coming back to that because I just think it's such a great, happy phrase to share with people. So I spent all of this time putting together this little label with like the gold foil washi and all sorts of stuff, and put a little hello on there, some hearts. I love the way it turned out. And what is going to happen, sadly, when I put it on there is that the ink, even though I used my Micron Pigma, it didn't dry, and the Sharpie didn't dry, and it gets smudged and gross, and it sort of smudges everything around it. So I ended up taking that off, and that's sort of around the time that the camera died. So bear with me, you're coming to the end, but that also means you're coming to the end of my stream of consciousness, which might be a really good thing for you today, because I can definitely talk and talk and talk and not even worry about it. So sadly, that awesome "Every day is the 14th," even when I look at it with a hello, I just love it. It makes me sad that it didn't make it, but my life will definitely go on, and yours will too, so we might as well just leave it behind. I wanted to put a little staple on the front just to add something interesting, and whenever I do that, because the back side will be a pocket, so there'll be paper going in and out, I just cover, the two staples on the back with a little bit of washi, just so that it's a smooth surface for the journaling cards and the note cards that I'll be stuffing in there to bounce off of. And the XOXO is so cute with the little unicorns. So it's all coming together. The Choose Happy sticker didn't last either. I'm so sad that I can't share with you the train of thought, because as I try and go back and reflect on how this all happened, I draw a little bit of a blank because I know nothing worked out the way I wanted it to. But the end result was fantastic. Thank you all so much for joining me for another video. I hope that your New Year's are off to a warm start and that you have had lots of great creative time this year. The boomerang shots are about to come back of the finished piece. Thanks for stopping by. Like this video, comment below. I asked you guys a lot of questions. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I wish you all a fantastic day full of creative moments and awesome little projects. Thank you so much for joining me.